Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. In this video, I'm going to share with you 7 red flags you must watch out for if you are going for visitor's visa. If any of these red flags apply to you, then you must know how to prepare to get your visa approved. Let's get right into the video. The first red flag is traveling alone when you are married. When you go for the visa interview and tell the visa officer that you are traveling, you are coming for a vacation or visiting somebody, but you are married and you are not traveling with your wife or children, it's a red flag. Many visa officers believe that vacations are planned together with families. People who are married are always encouraged to apply for visa together when they are traveling for a vacation. You cannot plan a vacation without your wife. The visa officer will be interested to knowing why you are traveling on a vacation without your wife. In places like America, Canada, and most European countries, people plan their travel with their family in mind. They move together to enjoy life, to visit places as a family. When you appear before the visa officer and you are traveling alone, it sounds weird to them. When you are married, it can get your visa denied. So all the time, it is good if you are coming to the US for a visit, for a vacation, you include your partner. Unless it is a conference, in which case specifically you are the one attending the conference and you don't need your partner. Or if your partner is not traveling with you and it's a vacation, you must find a way to explain to the visa officer why your wife is not joining you. Perhaps your wife is paying attention to your case, or the work of your wife does not allow her at the time that you want to travel, and you have different schedule and different leave time you don't want to spend. You want to use the time to visit your family, your friends, or to do something important in the US without your wife. Perhaps in previous trips you have traveled with your wife, so you can use that to show that previously I traveled with my wife to Kenya, to South Africa, to Dubai, to Germany for a visit, but today it is not possible because of our work schedule. That will cancel the red flag. Another big red flag for visitors visa is no sustainable job. If you go for the visa interview, the visa officer want to know whether you have job security, because they don't want you to overstay or use the visitors visa to work in the United States, or use the visitors visa as a way of migrating to the United States. So when you appear for the visa interview and you don't have a good job, your visa will be denied. You may have your own personal business, you may be working for somebody or whatever, but the point is you must have a sustainable job, something that will not put pressure on you to stay in the United States and look for greener pastures. This is important. Another red flag is being sponsored by a far relative or being sponsored by someone for a holiday. For example, you appear for the visa interview, you say you are coming for a holiday and you are being sponsored by your uncle. The question is, why will your uncle spend so much money to sponsor you to go on a holiday? Holiday is considered not a basic need. Spending holidays traveling around is luxury. It's for people who can afford. So if you cannot afford and somebody is sponsoring you, it can be red flag. If you are a young guy, you are not working, and you go to the visa interview and you say your father is sponsoring you to visit somebody, or you have a sponsor, somebody in the US is inviting you, it could be your friend, your brother, your girlfriend, or whatever. The person is inviting you and he is the one sponsoring you. I'm not saying somebody cannot sponsor you, but you must also show some financial muscles. Assuming you come to the US and the person who is sponsoring you cannot be rich, can you spend 2 days living in an Airbnb or renting a hotel whilst you wait? Can you pay your own flight ticket? Do you have money to even do some shopping when you are coming? Right? So these are some of the questions that you ask yourself. If you are being sponsored by somebody fully and you are a young guy, you are not working, it is a red flag. The visa officer will assume that you will not return. The visa officer will assume that you just want to travel. So if you want to go on a visitor's visa, try to have something to support. Even if somebody is sponsoring you, you can say that, yes, my uncle is the one sponsoring me. He will provide accommodation. He will take care of my living expenses when I go. But I work, so I've saved something to pay for my ticket and to pay for some shopping that I'll be doing when I return. That shows some form of responsibility in your own holiday plan. Another red flag is traveling to see or traveling to meet somebody you met online. There are some people who go to the visa interview and they are like, oh, I'm going to visit a friend. How did you meet the friend? Where do you know this friend? We met online. The person may be your boyfriend or your girlfriend, but you only met online. and you have not met the person in person, it is a red flag. The visa officer will think that you just want to use and find ways and means to travel. I'm not saying that people cannot meet online and genuinely find love. You can meet online and genuinely find love. But I always advise, if you met online and you think you love yourself, try to convince the person to visit you first and have personal interactions, personal relationship. In that case, when you are returning, when you are also going to visit the person, you have pictures, you have proof, evidence to show that you have met before. Merely meeting on Facebook over a year or 2 years and chatting alone is not enough to trigger a visit, even if it is a relationship. The truth is that visa officers have experienced a lot of people who appear for interview with this kind of situation, who appear for interview and they're like, oh, I met somebody online. They give them visas, they go and they don't return. So it is something they've seen over and over. So it is a red flag when you appear with this kind of story. Another red flag is traveling on a visitor's visa for a long period. You fill your visa form, you go for the visa interview, and you tell the visa officer that you are traveling to the United States to spend 6 months, to spend 3 months, to spend 4 months. The question is, why will you stay for that long in the United States? Who will take care of you? Do you have family, somebody in the US that you'll be staying for that long? Do you have money to take care of yourself for that long? And why will you leave a reasonable job in your home country and go and stay in the United States for 3 months? What kind of job will allow you to do that? So when you go for the visa interview and your duration of stay is long, it raises a red flag. It suggests that you have your mindset to overstay in the United States, or you have families in the US who want to receive you and who want to help you migrate. It suggests that you don't have a good tie to your home country, because if you have your family, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your children in your home country, why will you stay in the US for that long? There are some people, for example, who are coming to visit their children. For example, you have your parents who are old enough and you've given birth and they want to come and visit you. It is not ideal to tell the visa officer that, oh, my daughter has given birth, I'm going to visit him and take care of him. No. You can tell the visa officer that, oh, my daughter has given birth and I'm happy to meet my granddaughter. I'll be spending about 1 month to help them as they gather before I return. Telling the visa officer you'll be staying for long is kind of red flag. It can get your visa denied. The other red flag is traveling for unrelated reasons. You appear for the visa interview, you are a teacher, and you tell the visa officer that you are coming for a conference, and the conference is a religious conference. It's a conference for pastors. It's a conference for politicians. It's a conference that has nothing to do with what you are doing. This is a red flag. So the purpose of your travel must be related, must be reasonable to get your visa approved. And finally, another red flag is first-time travelers. Of course, many people who are first-time travelers are at risk of getting visa denial, depending on the situation. So make sure that if you're a first-time traveler, you explain and show strong ties to your home country to convince the visa officer that you will not stay. It is sometimes helpful if you have traveling experience. If you have traveled to UK, if you have even traveled to the US before, you've gone to an international trip and you've returned, it shows your connection to your home country and your ties to your home country. It doesn't mean first-time travelers do not get approved. We coach and prepare first-time travelers all the time. But if you're a first-time traveler, ensure that you have a strong purpose of travel, you have a strong ties to your home country, you have a very good, reliable job. That will convince the visa officer you'll return. I hope you like this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. As always, theology is fine. Trust me.